Hi everyone, I'm FM Greeno and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. So, since we were together last, I have done a couple of little jobs around Poland. I've ended up in Gdansk now. You'll notice I've got just over 208,000 euros in the bank. That is enough for me to go shopping for a new garage. Let's go and do it. Okay, so I've arrived to the location where the garage in Gdansk is based. Hopefully, they won't mind that I'm trying to buy it at about 3:20 in the morning. Now let's see if we can get it to go through now. Do I really want to buy this garage? Yes, I do. Here we go. It's night time, so we're not going to see it perhaps as well as we might, but nice little cutscene nonetheless. Thankfully, we're actually lighting up the building a little bit with our headlights, so we can see a little bit. So this gives us another 3 slots to put drivers in, so that's pretty cool. And what I'm probably going to do, actually, is relocate one of the drivers from Leipzig here. So let's go and see if we can do that. So I think this is the truck that we're going to try and relocate. We're going to get Vasil to move up to Gdansk. So, as I understand it, we have to relocate the truck first and then the driver. They don't automatically go together for some reason. So let's see if we can do this. We'll click here on the garage here. Pick that slot. Okay, so that has now moved the base, you'll see here, to Gdansk. But it doesn't have a driver now. So, we need to go into the driver manager, find Vasil, and relocate him as well. So, here we go. Relocate you. You can go up from Leipzig to Gdansk. Reunite with your lovely little green truck. And there we go. So we've got a first driver in Gdansk. Frees up another slot in Leipzig. But I think we're probably going to try and fill up the ones in Gdansk first. Anyway, for now, we don't have any cash. We just spent it on the garage. So best we go and earn some. Let's go and find a job. And this is the job I've decided that we're going to go and do today. Fairly standard looking truck. Fairly standard delivery. Just some postal packages. But it marks our first trip up into the Baltic nations. So as you can see here, the route actually takes us into Russian territory. This little part here with Kaliningrad in is actually a Russian enclave. We're then going to head into Lithuania and up to Latvia, to the capital city Riga. Let's go and get hooked up and get underway. Okay, so we're all hooked up. It's, let's say, just after 3:30 AM now. So the sun's going to start coming up now. We've got about a 10-hour drive in front of us. Should be a pretty interesting one, I think, getting across multiple countries. So we'll see a lot of borders. I expect the Russian border is going to be a bit full on. But we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to get out onto the highway, get underway. And yeah, we'll catch up as soon as we start seeing something interesting. Okay, so we're out of the city now. Out into some farmland, heading up towards the Russian border. I'm really pleased to have got that new base in Gdansk. I think it's going to be a really good and profitable location for us. Be very interesting to see how Pavel starts getting on being based there, see if it does any better for him than being in Leipzig. Gdansk is a pretty cool place. A place I've been to a couple of times. It's part of what's kind of known in Poland as the Tri-City area. So you have Gdansk and Gdynia very close to each other, and also like a resort town just up the coast called Sopot, where I've stayed. Really nice town, Sopot. A couple of very, very nice hotels, a big long pier out into the sea, and the only place I've ever had a curry in Poland. So there we are. Random Greeno fact. So yeah, so I'm really happy that we've got a base there, a place I know fairly well. Yeah, going to be backwards and forwards out of there a little bit ourselves, even though we're still based in Leipzig. That's one thing I have found out. You can relocate all the drivers and all the trucks apart from your own. Not that it really matters, because we don't go to Leipzig very often anyway. All of the other drivers who are based in a city kind of tend to use that as a base and try and get to and from it with their jobs, which is why you sometimes see them unable to find a job and coming back empty, because they're just trying to find a job back to where they're based. That's why I think Gdansk will be a good option for us, because there's quite a lot of industry around there. Anyway, you can see here we've got a sign, turn left, heading towards Kaliningrad. So we'll catch up when we get near the Russian border. So, it's 5:30 AM and this is the border we're approaching now. So we're going to be leaving Poland and the EU. Once again, the last time we left the EU was to head into Turkey. This time, we are heading into Russia. I'm not quite sure why this little little patch of land is an enclave for Russia. Just sandwiched in between Poland and Lithuania as it is. But it always has been. So, quite an interesting little place. I do remember in the 2018 Football World Cup, they were playing games here. That was one of the stadiums they used for some of the group games. Actually in the city of Kaliningrad. It looks like the border here is quite an official one. Taking a while for people to get through. Hopefully it'll be a bit less eventful getting through for us than it was when we went into Turkey, if you remember, from Bulgaria. We were crashing into everyone and everything. Doesn't look like quite such a big border point as that was, but they're taking some time checking my documents, that's for sure. And here we are, though. We've been allowed through this part. Is this the end of the border, or do we have to go through a Russian side as well? It does look like on the sat-nav there is an additional border point. Bus is going to let us through, is it? Very good, thank you. We're only supposed to go 20 kilometers an hour here. Good lord. Okay. So, is there another little hut up here? Or are we just driving in? There's a sign with the Russian flag on it. Well, it looks like we might have just gone through. Oh no, that looks more officious up there, doesn't it? So, okay. Good lord, it's quite involved then. So we're heading this way. We've got about another 2 hours, I think, before we need to sleep. So we might even sleep in this little bit of Russia if we find a car park just a little further up the road. I want to do a little bit more of this drive in the morning if I can. I'm sure sometime in the next couple of hours there'll be a nice little place we can stop. Right, so what's going to happen here? We're going to go through this border check as well.
Get ready to turn right.
I guess we're going to see a bit of this, because up here we do actually have the option to go into mainland kind of Russia as well. Once we're in the Baltic states, we can get into St. Petersburg, so that'll be pretty cool. So, looks like the Russians are happy. We are in. How cool is that? Right. Let's get underway. Oh, that bus managed to beat us. The swines. Okay, so you can see the signs there with the Russian Cyrillic writing on for Kaliningrad. We're going to see that as we head through this part of the world. Let's go. Well, you can tell you're in Russia, even though it's not mainland Russia. Look. On the left-hand side there, a couple of nodding donkeys. Pulling some oil or gas out of the ground, I guess. It's been pretty uneventful so far, this little part of Russia. Fairly flat. Not particularly interesting countryside. And we didn't get to see anything of Kaliningrad. Just sort of shot round the outskirts of it. So now we're going to head up towards the border. And we'll be heading into Lithuania first. So I guess that's about another hour or so from where we are now. My guy is starting to get tired. We do need to stop for a sleep. We do need to stop for some petrol. Hopefully being in Russia, seeing as they produce so much of the damn stuff, it's going to be nice and cheap. We'll see. Whoa, €960 parking speeding fine. Jesus. We had to come down to 40 kilometers an hour to come into this place. That's not very cool. Nice little monument here on the left-hand side, though. Obviously some kind of war memorial. 1945. It's pretty neat. But yeah, could have done without that fine. Funds are a little bit thin as they are. Okay, so now it's coming up to 7 PM. We did take the opportunity to have a sleep. We did grab some diesel. It was incredibly cheap. 52 euro cents a litre, which is by some margin the cheapest we've seen anywhere. Now it looks like we've got another crazy route into a border point here. I mean, this is what you expect of Russia, isn't it? Ex-Soviet kind of stuff. Those big panel buildings there. That's what we like to see.
To turn left.
So we're going to make our way around this crazy little
Turn left.
border point. Here we go. There's our little green man who's going to check our documents as we leave Russia. So let's hope that goes through without any incident. It's taking a while. There we go. We've been let through this part anyway. Now we just got to get back into the EU again. So, up this way by the looks of it. Ah, look at this. This looks pretty cool. What a nice little bridge. Not sure what this body of water is exactly. But that's a pretty cool bridge over it. Okay, so we're going to head up and get the other part of the border point. Obviously the border runs right down through the middle of that waterway. I'm going to slow down to 30 again. I did notice I almost got caught out by another of those little Russian towns and villages by heading into it at 50 odd. Yeah, managed to slow down just about in time, remembering that I had to do 40. So, this side of the border looks pretty quiet. Going to be another check of our documentation, I suppose. Hopefully the other border points along the route here will be less troublesome. Of course, the Baltic nations are all in the EU, so you should just be able to shoot between them without any real problem. There we go. And that's us leaving Russian territory for now. I don't think it would be long before we're back. I'm pretty keen to head over in St. Petersburg kind of direction once we're up here. So this is Lithuania. It's looks pretty enough. Fairly flat, but quite nice, green, foresty. A little bit. Oh, we're going much too fast here. We're going to get a speeding ticket. Yeah, we're not going to see too much of Lithuania on this trip, I don't think. We're not going to any of the major population centres. We're just heading across the country and across the border into Latvia. Obviously Vilnius and Kaunas, the two sort of bigger cities in the country. Vilnius, of course, the capital, are over to the eastern side of the country, and we're going up the western side, so we're going to pass them by for now, but we will be back. Don't worry about that. We're going to do a little bit of a Baltic tour for a few episodes, I think. So that'll be pretty cool. Anyway, let's press on towards Latvia. So it looks like this might be the border. Or is it not? Maybe it's just a factory with a load of flags out the front. Maybe that was what it is. It wasn't the border. Okay. But you can tell we're getting further north here again now. So it's 9:30 in the evening and it's still pretty light. I remember when we were up in Scandinavia we had the same situation. So obviously they've decided to make the whole game in summertime. It'd be a bit grim if it was in wintertime, wouldn't it? Goodness me. Like, going up to some of these places that only have like 4 or 5 hours of daylight, doing all that night driving. That'd be a little bit soul-destroying, not seeing much of the place, but thankfully, that's not how it works. We've got about 2.5 hours to go. We're scheduled to make our delivery just after midnight, so it will eventually get dark, I'm sure. It's already starting to dull a little bit.
Get ready to turn left.
Yeah, we'll turn left then. We're in another one of these parts of the world where there are train tracks across the main road. Here comes the train. Quite a long one. Must be a bunch of people wanting to get around at 10 o'clock on a Thursday night.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Another speeding fine. What's this in the middle of the roundabout here? We light that up a bit better? A bunch of cows in the middle of the roundabout. Okay. A little bit random. So we can't be far from the Latvian border now. We've only got 2 hours of the drive left to go. So it must be just up here around the corner somewhere. I'm really looking forward to spending some time up here. We're going to do a few episodes in and around the Baltic area. Like I say, it's not just Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia that's in this DLC, but also part of the western part of Russia, St. Petersburg and the like, and also a few towns in southern Finland. So I guess we can take a little ferry from somewhere in Estonia, Tallinn, I guess, probably, and make our way into Finland for a little bit, which will be nice. Look out for some moomins, that sort of thing. So, I see more flags ahead. Is this actually going to be the border? Or am I going to get caught out again? This looks more like a bordery thing, doesn't it? There we are, look. That's it, we are leaving Lithuania and heading into Latvia. So 1 hour and 45 left to go. It's actually getting dark now. So let's crack on. So that is Riga discovered, and apparently that is the first city on an achievement called the Baltic Tourist, which I suppose just means going around and visiting all the different towns in the Baltic. So there were 35 cities in total, so I guess that's quite an involved achievement to do that one. Whether that's one we actually get round to doing or not remains to be seen. It might take another couple of hundred episodes before we get to that point. I'm going to have to be really, really careful here, though. I picked up yet another speeding fine in a little town a while ago. They are so hot as soon as you hit that speed limit. If you're more than 10 kilometres above it, you're getting a speeding fine instantly. There seems to be a lot less leeway than in some other places. Oh, cool. We got another recruitment agency there. Always helps. Increases the pool of drivers we have available. So we're just round the corner from our delivery now. I'm going to have a little mooch around Riga offline, see if there's anything interesting about to show you in a later episode. But for now, we're just going to park up and yeah, just get the job done. So, where are we? Just round here. Some bright lights there.
To turn right.
That looks like where we're going. So, can we swing out here? Yeah, nothing coming. And in we go.
It was a nice ride.
Have I missed the icon? I did, didn't I? Oh no, there we go. So, let's just get it parked up. A nice simple one. Over to the right-hand side there. Make sure there's no cars in the way first. Right up close to the fence. Just swing it round in. There we go. That should be nice and simple. Perfect. Look at that. So what do we get for that? Let's have a little look. Wasn't the longest drive. We picked up just over 20,000 euros. Lost a couple of thousand in fines. So not quite as profitable as it could have been, but still not bad. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's good to be heading up into this part of the world. It's a place I haven't spent any time at all, so I'm really looking forward to sort of exploring it and finding out a bit more about the place. If you did enjoy it, please drop a like on there for me. Helps with the algorithm, of course. And if you've got any comments about today's episode, or the series as a whole so far, I would love to see them below. And don't forget, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, click on that button, set your bell for notifications, and come and hop on the Greeno bus. Plenty of room for you all. Just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Some more action here, Euro Truck Simulator 2. Bye for now.